Slaying that jank. Hey guys, Trent here coming at you with the video about the leak of Dominaria. By now everybody knows that all the cards were leaked. Or not all, but many of them were. And I'm watching, people's videos on the Dominaria leaks, talking about them, talking about the big three Planeswalkers, Karn, Jaya Ballard, and Teferi. But nobody seems to be mentioning this Planeswalker that was spoiled as well, Chandra Pyromancer. And I'm kind of wondering why. So I thought I would go ahead and do it and point out something that's quite interesting on it. So first off, let's look at the card itself. Chandra Pyromancer. It's a legendary Planeswalker. So I think that's a new thing, legendary Planeswalker, when there's going to be spells that specifically involve legendary permanents. So that's interesting. The Chandra itself, it's a 6 mana Chandra. It starts out with 5 loyalty and can get pumped immediately to 6 loyalty, so that's not bad, especially for a 6 mana Planeswalker. Not super crazy though, like Vraska, she goes to like 8 or something like that whenever you cast her, and she's a 6 mana Planeswalker. So I don't know if that's why maybe people think this card is just like underpowered, or maybe I don't know if this is like the Planeswalker deck one or whatever. But I don't know. And why is Chandra just like in this set too? That's another thing. Why are there so many Chandras? Anyways, abilities: you can +1 her to add 2 mana, and Bold Pyromancer deals 2 damage to target player. Then her -3 is that she deals 3 damage to target creature or Planeswalker. So here's the interesting thing with her two abilities. The first one says it deals 2 damage to a target player. Now, as we know, the Planeswalker rule for damage redirection currently is that when damage could be dealt to a player, you can redirect that damage to their Planeswalker. And that's pretty much the way you deal damage to Planeswalkers as of now. I guess it was said that there is a possibility that the damage redirection rule is going to change, or basically go away whenever Dominaria comes out. And I think this is another reason why I think it's interesting that nobody's talking about this card, is because this card kind of like shows that is indeed going to happen. Because we have here this first ability that it deals 2 damage to a target player, and then the second ability deals 3 damage to a target creature or Planeswalker. So why would they need to have it split up that way? Unless they wanted it to where you could not deal 3 damage to a player. They only wanted you to be able to deal 3 to a Planeswalker, and whenever you hit a player, you could only hit them for 2. But I think it means that the damage rule is going to change, and so now it's kind of interesting because cards in the past that say that it deals 3 damage to a target creature or player, many of them are going to have to be, I believe, like they're going to have to be, the text is going to have to be errated, if you will. Like Lightning Bolt says it deals 3 damage to target creature or player. Well, everybody knows that forever we've been able to target a Planeswalker with a Lightning Bolt. So I don't think that's going to change. What's going to change, I think, is that Lightning Bolt is going to basically say it can deal 3 damage to a target creature, player, or Planeswalker. Or they're going to word it in another way, like can deal damage to any target is one example I've seen. So it's going to be quite an interesting change, because I can't imagine that they're going to, all these ways to kill Planeswalkers like Lightning Bolt, they're going to make it to where you can't target a Planeswalker with that anymore. So anyways, her ultimate was -7. She deals 10 damage to target player and each creature and Planeswalker they control. And so she starts out at 5. You only have to plus her twice to the next turn get to her ultimate, which is a pretty powerful ultimate, especially if you +1ing, reducing life, you're casting stuff off of that. I don't know. Obviously whenever Chandra Torch of Defiance is in the format, this is a no-go, right? I mean, because they do similar things and Chandra costs 4 mana, and Chandra's just infinitely better, I think, than this. But whenever she's out of the format, I'm not sure. It is interesting we have another red Planeswalker that ramps. In Modern, I don't think there'll be any spot for her like in a fringe strategy like the red decks that play Koth of the Hammer and Chandra Torch of the Defiance, because if they wanted to play more of those kind of effects, they would just play more copies of Chandra Torch of Defiance. To be honest, they wouldn't. At 6 mana, they're looking to play finishers, and this is a really slow finisher. But anyways, I thought this card was interesting, and I don't understand why when people make their videos, nobody's talking about it, especially since it has this kind of like this clear example that the rules are going to change. I just thought I'd point that out. It looks like now, from this set on, it'll specify whether it can deal damage to a Planeswalker or not. So, interesting to see how those changes take place, and interesting to see what exactly this Planeswalker is and why nobody's talking about it. I guess we'll see. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know about any interesting speculations, and have a good day.